The gay marriage question, if you will, settled by the Supreme Court 5-4, but the religious liberty issue is clearly out there. And I want you to maybe speak to, if not Christians, independents, American citizens, about what you would say, what the DNC would say to folks that are concerned about some of these religious liberty infringements potentially coming. We've seen, obviously, the Kleins, for example, in Oregon, this Christian couple who was fined 135 or has to pay $135,000 to a lesbian couple, and now they're out of business. So, I mean, this is tangible. It's real in people's lives. What do you say to folks that are concerned about the religious liberty issue?
You shouldn't be able to turn people away based on who they are. It's important that no matter who you are, who you love, what the color of your skin is, what your national origin is, we're a nation of laws. And yes, the marriage equality decision is settled. Love is love, and now everyone in America enjoys the protection of the United States Constitution when it comes to who they choose to marry legally. That doesn't mean that churches and religious institutions have to conduct same-sex marriages, and it doesn't mean that religious institutions aren't able to practice their own values. But in this country, we do not allow people to discriminate. And that's, I think, where the important distinction needs to be drawn.
That's interesting. So just so I know, the distinction is more as it relates to churches and religious groups?
If you're a legitimate religious institution, and don't misunderstand my term legitimate, but if you're a church, if you're a church affiliated, I mean by church, I mean synagogue, church.
Right.
If you're a religiously affiliated organization, then you have wider latitude in terms of the Constitution and the protections that our First Amendment provides. But the law that Mike Pence in Indiana tried to pass, which had a massive backlash, clearly would have gone far beyond that and allowed discrimination, widespread discrimination across the board that Americans find abhorrent and unacceptable, and that's why the backlash against that law was so strong. And then it was followed in Arkansas as well. And I think Americans make a distinction between protecting the First Amendment rights of a religious organization or a religiously affiliated organization and being able to discriminate broadly simply because of one individual who owns a business and their own values, and they're being able to impose those values on either their employees or their customers.